Kanban is considered to be one of the central elements of lean manufacturing, and this presentation will explain some of the basics of what a Kanban system is, how it works, and how it can be implemented. Enjoy. I consider the definition of Kanban to be a signaling system that triggers more products to be produced and delivered. Our cars have a gas gauge that works on the Kanban principle. It signals you when the gas has been consumed and more gas is required. One of the oldest examples of a simple Kanban system I can think of is the one used for home milk delivery. The process is simple and incredibly effective. The night before the milkman is scheduled to come, just place any empty bottles outside your door. The milkman picks up the empties and replaces them with full bottles of milk. Most companies use a push production system, which is to produce product based on what they think is going to be consumed rather than what is actually consumed. Imagine trying to guess how much milk each customer is going to consume each day. And if you're wrong, you will be either overproducing or underproducing. And guess what? Your chances of being wrong are really high. Both over and underproduction have a negative impact on business and will be discussed later in this presentation. The premise of Kanbans is that material will not be produced or moved until a customer sends the signal to do so. Kanban relates to the just-in-time principle of producing only what is needed, only in the amounts needed, and only when it is needed. Kanban production systems are also known as a pull production system because you are waiting for the customer to signal that product has been consumed and replacements are needed, as in this milk delivery system. The Kanban system is based on customers and suppliers. Customers consume a product and a signal is given to the supplier of that product, in essence telling them that product needs to be replaced. In this case, the signal is an empty Kanban square. When the supplier sees the empty Kanban square, they produce the replacement and deliver it. It is important to understand there are two different types of customers and suppliers in business, and I will explain the differences using this hypothetical flow for a pizza restaurant. The flow is pretty basic. We receive supplies and then go through several steps of actually making the product, just like in manufacturing. And then the product is delivered to the customer and the product is consumed. In this example, the couple eating the pizza would be considered the consumer of the finished product, also known as the external customer. An external supplier is someone outside the business supplying what the business consumes. Internal customers can be any person, department, or work cell within your business. For example, this chef is supplying ingredients to the next chef so she can make the sauce. So in this example, the first chef is the internal supplier to the second chef, who in this case would be the internal customer. The same is true throughout the process. Those feeding the next step are considered internal suppliers, and those receiving product from preceding operations are considered internal customers. It is extremely important for internal suppliers to fully understand who their customers are and treat them like customers. Internal suppliers are responsible for ensuring their customers are receiving quality products on time and are perfectly happy. Likewise, it is equally important for internal customers to know exactly who their internal suppliers are and giving feedback to them on how well they are performing. Another good example of a tried and true Kanban system is the supermarket. After all, Kanban scheduling systems operate a lot like supermarkets. Let's review how this process works. The process begins with an amount of stock for every item the customer may need. The stock has a designated location with a fixed amount of space to allow only for the maximum amount of inventory. Customers visit the store and select the items they need from the shelves. In essence, they are pulling the product that is waiting for them. You want the customer to always be able to find the items they need easily, and the shelves should never be empty. When the customer checks out, there are actually two processes happening at the same time. The products are scanned with an electronic scanner that creates a receipt for the customer, and at the same time, it registers the products and quantities that have been pulled from the shelves. Now, the store knows exactly what was consumed by the customers, and an electronic signal is sent to the warehouse or supplier, automatically letting them know which items have been consumed. The warehouse prepares to replenish exactly the quantity of items consumed. Trucks are dispatched from the warehouse on a daily basis with the products needed, and the products are delivered to the store. The shelves are restocked and ready to start the cycle all over again. As you can see, there are many benefits to using a Kanban system to schedule deliveries for this supermarket. Buildup of inventory levels is prevented, and products are always fresh. Another variation is the bread truck approach. With this method, drivers follow a fixed route from store to store. They have a supply of bakery items in their truck. At each stop, they determine what has been consumed and replenish those items only. They maintain a predetermined inventory level for each item in each store. A typical Kanban signal is an empty container designed to hold a standard quantity of material or parts. A 2-bin Kanban system is a popular Kanban. In principle, it provides a mechanism for stock reordering. You start out with 2 full boxes, and when one of the boxes becomes empty, the empty box and/or the Kanban card act as a reorder signal to either an internal or external supplier. The second box represents enough material to be consumed while the empty box is restocked either internally or by a supplier. The parts should always be replenished before you run out, and so the cycle continues. You can determine your Kanban size using this formula. The total required inventory equals the weekly part usage times the lead time times the number of stock locations. But if the weekly part usage or lead time is not fairly stable, you will find yourself in trouble if you implement Kanban. Kanbans are used to replenish the inventory of items that are used repetitively. If the usage of an item is not repetitive, it would not be appropriate to implement the Kanban production system. An empty Kanban container along with the Kanban card acts not only as a signal to produce more, but can also be used as a work order for production. This eliminates the need to print work orders, which saves time and money. Implementation of Kanbans is a very creative process. You can consider using a cart as a Kanban, or a simple pallet, or any type of box. You can create a Kanban square on the floor that, when empty, will be a clear signal or indicator that product needs to be produced. Without a Kanban system, we are forced to estimate what the customer will consume. When we overestimate, we overproduce, and therefore are spending valuable production time working on items that are not needed and cannot be sold right away. And while you're making extra product you cannot sell, you are not making another product that you can sell. This means you will not be responding well to your customer demand, and it will cause you to be late. Overproduction also causes excess inventory. Think of excess inventory as the money you've spent in labor and materials and it's sitting on the floor instead of in a bank. You also have to pay for someone to stock it, count it, and pull it from stock and prepare it for shipment. It takes up valuable floor space that could be used for something more productive. There's also a chance the product may become obsolete and have to be scrapped at your expense. We have the opposite problem when we underestimate what the customer will consume. When we underestimate, we underproduce, which causes part shortages, which causes extra changeovers, and that causes a loss in productivity. This means we have a customer wanting product from us that we cannot deliver. Once again, this means you are not responding well to your customer demand, and it causes the customer to become upset. This applies to internal as well as external customers. There are 4 other lean tools that are important to consider as they are key to a successful implementation of a Kanban production system. Changeover time is critical when implementing a successful Kanban system. Being able to change from producing one product to another very quickly will reduce machine downtime and allow you to react quickly to customer demand. Drastically reducing changeover time is a key step towards Kanban production systems. Implementation of an autonomous maintenance program is also key to eliminating unplanned machine downtime. This is a program where the maintenance of the machine is performed by the machine operator rather than by the maintenance staff. Machines that are not well maintained will break down unpredictably. While machines are waiting for maintenance or repair, they are not producing product to meet customer demand. Implementing 5S first will ensure the workplace is clean, neat, and organized, which are the ideal conditions for implementing a Kanban system. And last, we want a facility where product flows without interruption and without excess transportation, such as conveyors or forklifts. Co-locating equipment and setting up cells, as in this picture, is an excellent way to create flow while aligning the customers and suppliers close to each other. Lean manufacturing is all about eliminating and reducing waste while increasing value, and that is exactly what a Kanban system can do for you. In any business, there are many hidden wastes that have not yet been identified. The waste you can actually see in your own business is just the tip of the iceberg. The waste you cannot see is hidden, as is 85% of this iceberg. To see the hidden iceberg, you must effectively lower the water level. Using Kanbans, you can uncover the hidden waste by reducing the number of Kanbans to 1 between each customer and supplier. There are 4 major steps in implementing a Kanban system. First, you need to decide which parts to Kanban. These parts should be used repetitively within the facility, as we discussed earlier, and have reasonably smooth production requirements ongoing. Then, calculate the Kanban quantities using the formula provided earlier. Then, determine the appropriate containers that will be used that can hold a standard quantity for the product and the type of signal that is to be used. And last, calculate the number of containers you will need. Everyone's business is different, and so the design of your Kanban system will be different as well. The key to your design is to keep it as simple as possible, make it easy to understand by everyone, and ensure it is a very visual system. Make it extremely easy to manage and ensure Kanban containers are easy to use as well. And remember, implementing a Kanban system is a very creative process, and it is up to you to make it fit your company's needs. There are many benefits of implementing a Kanban production system. You will eliminate the waste of overproduction, which is one of the 7 deadly wastes. Eliminating overproduction eliminates excess inventories, another one of the 7 deadly wastes. Reducing inventories will put extra cash back in your bank account. Eliminating excess inventories frees up storage space, meaning additional floor space that you can actually use for production purposes. It will help you identify all of the hidden wastes and bottlenecks in your business so that they can be eliminated or greatly reduced. Underproduction is eliminated, which eliminates part shortages, and that makes everyone happy. Your levels of efficiency and productivity increase, which equate to money added to the bottom line. You also eliminate the need to produce purchase orders and work orders by using Kanban cards instead. Think of all the office personnel it takes to create those work orders and purchase orders. Customer satisfaction will be at an all-time high, and that means internal as well as external customers. All of these benefits equate to a healthy and competitive business with money added to the bottom line. So the burning question is, will setting up a Kanban production system benefit your company? Even if it is not appropriate for your entire business, there may be select areas that it will be beneficial. You can start out small by setting up a pilot Kanban system in a small part of your business and then learn by doing. Once you have that mastered, you can then move on to other areas of your business. This is the end of the presentation, but the beginning of your journey towards realizing the benefits of Kanban production systems at your own company.